I'm really excited to be a YouTuber. Would you say I'm a YouTuber, or am I a, what exactly am I? Like, who am I on YouTube?
You're a CEO.
You probably expect CEOs to be like this. Dude, this fucking phone, motherfucker. It's too much noise for me, Stan. I have way too much ADD. Can I have a drink?
Yes.
Yeah, can we all have a drink? I'm very good on camera, bro. The last time I started on YouTube, it was 2018. I had just started. I had set up like one camera in front of me, like an iPhone on the other side, and it was me and 3 in the morning, and I was talking to myself, and I made a video on Lashify. That was in 2018. Since then, we've taken over the whole lash world. Everybody now knows that the Underlash DIY lash extension that I created and patented in 2016 is literally the best way to lash in the world, and that's why it's taken over the world. Before Lashify, there was no such thing as DIY lash extension because lash extensions had to be done by professionals. So I'm the kind of person that becomes really obsessed with things, and I became obsessed. And I threw myself into trying to figure it out, and I called it trying to crack the lash code. And the reason it wasn't easy is because in order to make Lashify work, I needed to create a few new things that simply did not exist. And that is what is inside of the control kit. When you get started with Lashify, try not to get overwhelmed. In the beginning, I only had the control kit, but now because we've been around for a few years, you know, we have all these new lash styles. But what has never changed is that the way to get started with Lashify is to get the control kit. The control kit has every single thing you need to do the system. So if you're here because you saw somebody wearing Lashify and they're like, oh, I use Lashify, there's a reason they look that good. It's not just the lashes. It's the lashes with the tool, with the application method, used correctly together. Let's go through it. I like things kind of bougie. I don't necessarily want to pay for bougie all the time. Things like packaging, presentation, they mean something to me. When I started this, I wanted to create a system that was empowering. DIY doesn't have to be cheesy and cursive and like kind of like whack. I wanted to make DIY amazing. Think about it. What's cooler, to have a translator that translates the language or to be able to speak the language? For me, the ability to do my own lash extensions, something that gave me such an insane amount of confidence, was life-changing. Like, it was honestly life-changing. And I'm gonna tell you the story. First things first, I invented the Fuse Control Wand. This is the Fuse Control Wand right here. Today, these are hand-tooled in Pakistan. And this is a patented tool, patented worldwide, design and utility. Design means what it looks like, utility means how it functions. There's never been a tool in the world that actually looked something like this and has what we call a horizontal clamp force. So what that means is it's designed to close all the way like this and actually have this even pressure. The Fuse Control Wand, you can use backwards, forwards. Applying Lashify, you have to close it. Inside of the control kit, you also get 2 sets of lashes in different sizes. Why is that different sizes? Because if we come in and give you a pre-mapped set, you're gonna put all those lashes on. But depending on what your eye shape is, how small your eyes are, what your face shape is, what the real estate is between your pupil and your brow, you're gonna need a different size. If I was super lazy, I would give you guys, here's a pre, whatever, and our customers would wear it, and you wouldn't be stopping them every single time on the street going, who does your lashes? Because they wouldn't look good on everybody. 10% of those people would get stopped with the pre-map set. And people would go, oh wow, who did your lashes? But the 90% other people would be like, ooh, those are long for her. Why is she wearing those? So do you ever see people that are wearing lashes that don't look good on them? That's a pre-mapped. Naturally, if you look at your own lashes, you'll see that the inner corners are shorter, the center is longer, and the ends are, again, shorter. What we're doing is we're sort of mimicking the way lashes grow. You're gonna use the shorter one in the corner and the longer ones around. Now, if you use a really long one at the end, but your eyes are round, it might seem droopy. So you're gonna take that off and use a shorter one. The beauty is with Lashify is that you're able to play around with it. These were a new type of lash made with PBT that is designed to be fit underneath your lash line, not like a strip lash, completely different. Then we have Whisper Light. This is a clear side and a black side, and that's 2 bottles of Bond in there. And then you have an optional sealer. Literally everything's optional when it comes to the sealer because that's there in case it's sticky or you feel like you want maybe more hold, etc. First, you're really gonna practice just putting them on. We're gonna get started. You will be absolutely shocked at how easy it is to apply Lashify. We've never, ever, ever had a person that could not apply Lashify. You don't need to do it quickly. It's made for newbies. Once you know how to use the Bond, you can make it do magical things. So we have a new offer, and that's why I'm here. Before, when we first started, you were buying this thing and it was $145, I think it was. And now we have a new customer intro offer, which is pretty amazing. You're going to get the control kit. It's gonna come like this. You're going to choose which size wand you want. Do you have a smaller eye? Do you have a larger eye? You're gonna use this app right here to measure your eye. So if you have a flatter face, you're gonna use the petite one. If you have a hooded eye, you're gonna use the petite one. If you have a round eye like me, you're gonna use the standard. This is gonna come like this, and this is gonna be $99. And then you're gonna choose 2 Gossamer lashes of your choice from A, B, C. A is for Amplify. It's the most natural. That was the first Gossamer that I ever made. It's like your lashes, but longer. Then B is a thicker fiber, so it's a little more bristly. It's really for the person that likes that like mascara look. And C is very similar to A, except it's got more of a curl. So if you have round eyes, excellent. They're all very, very popular. You can't get hung up on it though, because they're just flavors. We've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's almost like Rocky Road, vanilla, mint chip, you know, dulce de leche. Is it dulce de leche? I don't want to be the person that's like Versace. Dulce, I like dulce, to be honest. Dulce is dulce de leche. Anyway, the beauty of it is you can mix and match with all of them. In order to crack the lash code, what I did was I created segments of 6 in the lash. If you have a 10 in here and you're wearing an A, you're gonna be like A10. Maybe you have your second one is a B, you'll be like B12. It's like a language, and it becomes really, really easy. The names are very logical. So if it's called B bold, that means they're bolder. If it's called D drama, it means they're more dramatic. If they're called F fluffy, yo, they're fluffy. Gemini is the one that's not totally on the nose. And that's because Gemini has multiple personalities. So like the lash that you see in the cartridge, that's like one kind of lash. And then when you fan it out, it's a whole other lash. It's a whole other lash. So it's like this little language, and I call it the language of lashes. But when you first get started, you really just want to practice applying. That's it. And I'll tell you why. The hardest part about Lashify, mark my words, is using this thing. So it's like chopsticks. First you're like, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, meow, 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 right? So it's the same thing. You have to get used to using this. And the number one way to do it is to put your elbow on a table. Okay, so you're like, oh my God, so great. It's like that. And you're gonna see that this wraps around my lid. You see that? It's like just literally wrapping. It's designed to wrap around, okay? And then you can go like this and you can still fuse. And I call this a fuse, this horizontal clamp pressure. So what you're gonna do in order to practice, honestly, is you're gonna take a lash, you're gonna put it on, let's say, the table. You're literally just gonna pick it up, okay? And you're gonna like put it near your eye, you're gonna put it down, right? You're gonna, I don't know, go pick up this card. You know what I'm saying? Like, pick up these lashes, you know? Also, mark my words. If you try to apply Lashify like this, it's so freaking hard. It's not how you apply it. You have to apply it looking down in the mirror. You're becoming familiar with what I coin as the underlash. The underlash, you have like a whole different relationship. When you look down in the mirror, you're like, holy hell, I didn't even know that like, I didn't know you were there. That's how you apply Lashify. So this thing is amazing. You can get it on our website. It's called the Infinity Mirror because it's amazing. And you can go like that with it and like show off and all that stuff. So you go and you look down. I'm like fully seeing my eyes. I can fully see my lash line. Watch. You're gonna come in with your Bond. If you have really, really thin lashes, your lashes are damaged or you've had some kind of medical issue or it could be aging, whatever, you're really gonna take your time to make sure that you're coating them correctly. And you're gonna do this with the black. The difference between Lashify and traditional lash extensions is that our bond is actually protecting your natural roots. Think of it like when you're shipping something and you wrap it around with bubble wrap. It's similar to that. And so you're coming in, and when you add the bond and you have very little lashes, you're actually creating a thicker lash for yourself. You don't want it to get like super clumpy, and that's why you make sure to do this only for a second, because once it starts drying, it's gonna get clumped. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do this on each side. Every single thing that we make at Lashify is because we need it. So you know how companies do like, what's it called? Product research, stuff like that? We don't do any of that at all. Zero, zilch. For me, it's about, we need this, we need that. How do we make the system better? When I used to get lash extensions starting in 2004, you know, I'm like ADHD. It's very difficult to get me to sit. But the best part of the whole thing was when she'd bring this thing out. And she would massage my eyeball, and I'd be like, oh, this is crazy. Finally, one day I opened my eyes, I was like, she's like, no! And I was like, what are you using? And she showed me, but it looked like the kind that you put in kids' noses, and I was like, that's not sexy, but that's cool. This was, believe it or not, the first item we ever ordered with a Lashify logo on it. It was the blow. As you see, they're dry. So now if I want to come in and like I said, I have really thin lashes, I might come in and do another little coat. This right here is enough to keep your lashes on for the day. And then you're gonna come in and you're gonna apply them. Now, if you wanna wear your lashes for, let's say, a week, you're going to do a method called the frosting method. When I tell you frosting method with Whisper Light, week, easy. You should have gotten a frosting brush in your control kit. And when you order your control kit, by the way, you want to get different sizes. So you want to get like 8 millimeter, 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 14 millimeter. You don't want to get all the same size. That's crazy. You're not going to want all the same size. What happens is you end up having like a collection of them, and then you use one from each cartridge. Let's say you buy one cartridge and you only use 2 of each, like 2 each time. That means you're going to be able to do that set 6 times. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. We're going to do the frosting method. The first thing is you're gonna make sure that you dot underneath your lash line. You're gonna see, it's almost like it looks, if you look closely, it looks like almost clumpy. You see that? There's a bunch of white stuff. So we used to call it dotting the lash line. So it's the white adhesive. Then you're gonna come in with a brush like this, and you're literally gonna brush upwards, okay? But frosting requires the bond not be clumpy. It needs to really be thin. So it's better for new bonds. But you see how I'm like applying this bond right there? You see how it's like super, super clumpy? And it looks like there's a lot there? You're gonna come in with the frosting and you're gonna brush upwards, just like I'm doing right now. When you do this 2 times, like I just did, all those steps that I just did, these lashes ain't coming off. Trust me. So that right there is the right bonding method. Now wait, we're gonna wait till this white bond is completely clear. If it's not completely clear, it is not ready for you to apply. If you apply your lashes when the bond has not become tacky, so it's the partial of the curing, it's not gonna work. It'll be watery. And you know, if there's like lint or this or that, we have all these tools. We have this thing called the precision tool, which is amazeballs. The fact that I don't have it makes no sense because I'm trying to like sell product here and I don't know why I don't have the precision tool, but regardless. But none of these things, we didn't have any of things when I first started Lashify. The control kit is what we had. What you need is what's in here. That's like what you cannot replace. You'll notice that if I touch this, these are like literally super tacky. And that's how you know it's ready to go. And I could do this for speed. I can literally put these on in 1 minute, 30 seconds, or I can take 10 minutes. So here we have a C10 and a C12. I'm gonna use both of those, and then we have a C14. So I'm gonna come in and I like to always start in the middle. Watch this. So you're gonna take the lash. It's gonna be facing towards me. As you look into the mirror, remember you're following your own lash line. You always want to be about 1 millimeter above the lash line. And the reason is because you don't want moisture. So you don't want this sitting on your wet line. Eesh. That's not Lashify. That's not the Underlash system. So you're coming in and you'll find that it literally just stays right there. And it stays right there because what we're dealing with is called magnetic adhesion. When you have two different kinds of polymers, they're like attracted to each other. So I'm going to come in. If I overlap, I'm going to have what you perceive as like a thicker lash. Okay, so you could overlap or you can just place them next to each other. You see how I'm looking down in the mirror though? I can see exactly what I'm doing, right? As I'm talking to you. Okay, so I'm going towards the inner, and right away my instinct is to go a little bit shorter in the inner corner. So let me see. Okay. And right in the middle, I want to add an extra one, but I might go a little longer at the end. Let's see. This one is a 14. So you see, I've been using 12s. So I'm going to do a little bit longer here. Okay. So you see a nice little, and you see these are curls. So you see a little bit of a lift. And now I'm going to come in super short. I'm going to go in with the 10. If it doesn't immediately grab, right, like a magnet, you're going to come in and add a little more bond. Now, tip, in the inner corner, use white because you'll always get the black stuff all over you. We're going to wait 1 second for it to get tacky. Bond over bond, like when you add a layer of bond and then you wait, and then you add another layer of bond over that, it takes about maybe half the time to dry. So now I'm coming in with a C10. And I'm putting that on the inner corner. Okay, so you see what I just did? And can I tell you something? I changed my mind. I don't want this long one on the end. I'm annoyed by it. So I didn't fuse them down yet. So I can pull it off really quick. You see that damage free. Why? Because it's flexible adhesive. Your lashes are growing and the adhesive is flexible. So your lash is growing and the adhesive is going like this. And then if your lash grows too much, it literally pops off, meaning the adhesive is not stronger than your lash. So your natural lash growing. So therefore the gossamer is going to come off. So now we're going to come in and I'm taking a C12. I'm going to put this at the end. And this, believe it or not, C12 is one of our, or the 12 millimeter is one of our most popular sizes in the whole world. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to fuse. Okay, I'm grabbing my lid. You see that? Wrapping my lid, closing it down all the way so that it touches. It's like kind of like, oh, and then I even try to blink sometimes to make sure it's nicely closed. Okay, it's a little sticky, and that's why I would use a Wandom. Sorry, I didn't talk about the Wandom. I made this Wandom to wrap your tool. Don't be a fool. It makes it non-stick, so you don't have to, you're not like irritated the whole time. But what annoys me about it is it's less sensitive when you use a Wandom. You can't feel it as much, but that's fine. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. It's definitely, if you're putting these on someone, they tend to like to use Wandoms. These things are really on. And I have to tell you, I look so good that I have to do my other eye now. Now, on this eye, I'm going to do the A's. So you can just see a little bit of a difference. There's none here. Or maybe, you know what? You know what? Let's do B's. I changed my mind. Let's do B12. Ready? So we're going to do the same thing. I didn't frosting this yet. Let's do frosting one more time. Let's do it quickly. You don't have to be perfect about it. You guys, do not get over analytical about Lashify. I'm a Gemini and I did all the analyzing for you for 3.5 years. All I did was think about this and how to make it perfect. So I've made it in a way that you really can't screw it up. You honest to God can't. And if you're sitting here having an anxiety attack, I'm telling you, it's a total waste of time. You're going to put these things on and be like, this is the greatest shit I've ever put on in my life. Your mind is going to be like, pfft. But the thing is that you also have the ability to completely destroy your own experience by being super anxious about it. And what I've seen in the last 7 years is that when people come in with a negative state of mind, dude, they make it happen. Okay, so mark my words, mark my words, mark my words. It is so easy and you're gonna love it. Like, don't get out of your head, move, bye. Does not help you. I created this because I really knew what it did for me personally, and I just knew people needed it. We're not really a cult. It's just that people understand the brand and they understand how the brand makes them feel, how the products make them feel, so they call us a cult. And I'm a cult leader. Oh, and by the way, removal is really easy. It's the same thing that removes waterproof mascara, meaning oil, basically. I try to find the best stuff in the world, but I didn't invent the remover. B12. If you're dealing with sizes like 10 or 12 millimeter, you can take one cartridge and wear it all the way through. If you're coming in with sizes like 16 millimeter, you'll look crazy if you wear a 16 in your inner corner. I can easily pull off a B12 all the way through. I also want to show you something else fun. I like to take the thicker fibers and spread them like this, just like that. These are little pieces of art. Can you believe this lash did not exist till I made it? Like, this is all I wanted. That's a whole nother YouTube video on how I got that done. Okay, here we go. And notice, once again, I invented this and I'm still looking down in the mirror. Okay, put that right there. Gonna do another one. Again, if I overlap, I'm gonna get a fuller look. I'm not talking about stacking in this episode, but I should in my next episode. So that's what I'm gonna do, you guys. I'm gonna have multiple episodes where I go over all the techniques that I've concocted throughout the years. I need a B10. Do we have one here? Okay, let's say I don't have a B10. This is what's cool. I can come in with my C10 and put it on. You can mix and match anything you want. That's how some people find their favorite lash maps, is because they're literally just playing around. They call those trash maps. By the way, you guys, we also have the largest, I think probably the largest group maybe in the world for a brand called Lashify Life. It's on Facebook. There's over 120, 6,000 people. I'm not sure if they're all there to like me or hate me, but I'm pretty sure they're all there to love me. It's the greatest group in the whole world. We used to have a lot of trolls, but I'm a troll slayer. Because, you know, I grew up on World Wide Web like AOL, you guys. I was like trolling chat rooms before it was even cool to troll. Once a troll, always a troll. You don't lose your trolling skills. In fact, moms and grandmas are literally the biggest trolls. Like, my mom trolls people. I don't even think she realizes shit. It's like, Mom, you're not allowed to like post on someone's page and be like, you're disgusting, I hate you. Like, that's trolling, right? I mean, our ads get trolled all the time. People are like, why the hell would I want that on my lashes? And it's always someone's mom. They should start like a trolling agency. That's a business model right there. Okay, you guys, so look at that, that's it. And I'm just reverse fusing here, but do you notice how this just looks blacker? Do I need one in the inner corner? Yeah, this one actually looks kind of crazy. Just kidding, it doesn't hurt at all, but you should not do that at home, what I just did, at all. Some people have an issue with the inner corner. You always want to overlap it. That's the magic sauce to the inner corner, is the overlapping. Boom. Okay, I'm ready to go. No, seriously, I'm ready to go. So that's the beauty of Lashify, is you honestly, you're gonna put these things on and you're gonna look in the mirror and you're gonna be like, I look so freaking cute. And you're gonna understand why people love Lashify and why I love being the CEO of Lashify and why I keep doing it. It's that feeling that you get at that moment. Thank you so much for watching me. I will be back next week. Should we do this weekly? Let's do it. Okay, bye.